you guys are in for a little bit of a treat. So about a year ago, I filmed for the television show GeekMe, which was part of the Bell TV1 channel of the Bell 5 network. And the show GeekMe, what it's about, it goes around East Coast Canada interviewing like the top tier of collectors of the different kinds of genres and franchises. And they came to my place and shot this amazing interview of me and my collection and stuff. And for the longest time, about 6 months now, it's been on TV, but the American fans were not able to see it. The West Coast Canadian fans were not able to see it. So I finally got the okay from them after it being on air all this time, finally be able to share it online on YouTube with you guys. So here is Geek Me, episode, I believe it was episode 6 I was part of, where it's me with my Transformer collection, just a little bit of an interview and stuff like that. Big thanks to Jason Rockman for everything and giving me this opportunity to share the craziness with the world. So, check that.
See you soon?
Yes.
Okay, man. Daniel Arsenault, Transformer collector. So you're the biggest Transformers collector in North America or the world? You don't know?
In the world, I don't know, but I'd like to believe I'm probably, like, in the world, I would have to say the top 5 if I had to take a guess.
And when you look around at your collection, I mean, it's to me, it's overwhelming.
It is a little...
I don't even know where to start. So this is all 90s stuff.
Yes, most of it essentially Generation 2 going into Beast Wars, which started in 93, 94, going onward to about 2000.
This box here, I mean, obviously something's going on with this.
Yeah.
Still.
This year was God Primus. It was a lucky draw exclusive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which was, there's approximately about 100 of them made.
Okay.
But of course, a lot of these were given to children in these lucky draws, so how many of those 100 survived is a different story, let alone in the box, in pristine condition. And he's the god of the Transformers. This was his first toy, so it was a big deal for a lot of people, and doing it in gold was kind of...
Yeah, and obviously he transforms.
Yes, he does.
But have you ever transformed him?
Yes, I have. You have to.
Again.
You have to. Transformer collectors, you have to. You have to open them.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as minted box with us.
Right. You guys want to play around.
You want to enjoy it.
I think it's interesting that as a profession you're a mechanic, and you think any of that had to do with your love of Transformers.
I think everything. I think it had. Well, you know, it's the subconscious thing where my father was a die-cast car collector,
right?
And you know, out of all the toy lines that I grew up with, you know, I was a very lucky kid of that era. You know, the Transformers, G.I. Joe, leading into Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. Just that was such a colorful era. But why did Transformers stick out more than anything else? And I think it was just being around those die-cast cars, my love of cars, my love of that, and also because of the Transformer, the engineering of it probably led me into mechanics because of my love of taking something apart, understanding how it works, putting it back together, fixing it. I fix Transformer toys. When they break, I take them apart. You know, there's that whole aspect of it too. So I 100% believe that probably is related to that.
So what's this?
So this one here is Super Hybrid Rodimus, probably one of the rarest items in my collection.
Okay.
The story behind this one was that Japan produced these in the 80s, and it was just a simple PVC vinyl figure, and the air conditioning system in the factory died.
Okay.
And it was a really hot summer in Japan that year, and all the figures melted.
Ooh.
Just totally got destroyed. And I mean, even this one here, there's small signs of the breakdown. The legs are warped a little bit. So I had one that survived. and I have it with the box. And so this, I don't want to say how much I paid for this, but this is my favorite character, first of all.
Yeah.
So to have something that was that limited in the world, like I've only seen one other.
Okay.
So I'm convinced that there's maybe two at most in the world.
And the one other that you saw
is in terrible condition.
Okay.
Because when I saw that one, if it was in better condition, the scary thing is, would I buy it?
Right.
You know. So, but yeah, I was very lucky to get this, and yeah, he's probably one of my rarest items. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever actually sat and said, okay, I'm going to count exactly how many pieces?
I tried to, maybe a decade ago, tried to count, and then I gave up. How I kind of know what I have is because I have like a spreadsheet, what I own.
Right.
And so that's where I get that general number. So it's like, I know what I own, and that puts me at 12,000. And then, yeah, exactly. That's where it gets a little scary.
Crazy.
There's some characters I really like, so I have two of them.
Right.
I have one in robot mode, one in, so that kind of doubles that up. That's the one problem with being a Transformer fan is which mode you display it in.
Yeah.
Do you want to have it in the iconic truck mode or the iconic robot mode? So
Right.
sometimes you gotta go twice in just to have both, but then you're gonna really be broke.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
There's areas in this room that are empty for planning for the future because this line's never going to end.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, when you're at 12,000, like where does it end? I mean,
It doesn't. That's the thing. Like it's the same way how like there might have been a time where I thought, okay, maybe Transformers is going to die down, and then those Michael Bay movies came out.
yeah.
So this is more the modern stuff. We'll call it the post-Bay era. So
Okay.
2007 and beyond. But with the Michael Bay stuff, there's also a lot of really good throwback to old Transformers stuff. Resurgence of interest. So there's a line called the Transformers Masterpiece line, which is where they try to make the most perfect example of those original characters. So here's one good example. This one here is Shockwave.
Okay.
And Shockwave was the evil Decepticon engineer, and he was just this really cool character. And to finally get like a really proper representation of him in his perfect purple and his mono eye. And it's just, I find that the Masterpiece line is a huge leap in engineering because those old toys, you know, you're talking 30 years ago, the engineering wasn't there to capture what was on the screen. But today, now that engineering exists, you put it at a nice adult-based price point.
Yeah.
And they could give you a really, that's not a cheap item. That's over 3 digits right there. So like,
Wow.
they make it for adults. That's specifically. More Michael Bay stuff. A lot of Michael Bay stuff. I like to say I'm a very privileged fan, which is that, like, because of my reputation, I've been approached by companies to make the toys, and I said, hey, would you like to write the bio for one? Like, I've written the bios for quite a few of the toys. There's a box set over there, has my name right on the top because I helped develop it and everything.
So that must feel great as a fan.
It's what gets to a point where it's like you peak as a fan. You go like, where do you go from here? This is a character named Bludgeon. I got to write his bio and
Bludgeon.
Bludgeon.
That sounds pretty.
Yeah, it's a pretty nasty name. And
medieval.
And he has the Matrix of Malice in his chest.
Okay.
Which was kind of like a Decepticon version of the Matrix of Leadership. And I got to like name that in the bio and everything. So that was really cool. And that's a personal favorite of mine, one of these toys, just because I got to.
Wait, of course.
To flesh out the character and write the bio and everything that comes with it. Just. Personal favorite.
So you did this whole. That was
I wrote the bio and
That's
everything.
great. But if you know your subject matter.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I think you do.
That's what it was. It was just it wasn't a matter that you have a paper that says you're a professional, right? It's that I knew the hobby, I knew the stuff. I have like a wall of books of just everything because it's like I study it practically. I know what there's 10,000 characters. I know every single character, their stories. It's a civil war that lasted for 4 million years, and every robot has his story.
Daniel, I think I messed something up. Daniel! Well, that's it for this week's edition of Geek Me. Make sure you like us on our Facebook page and keep on being a geek. We'll see you next time. What's the strangest piece you have?
So they did a line called Kiss Play, and it was a line where they had little girls that would kiss the Transformers to make them power up and transform.
How do I do this stuff?